What's going on? Kevin Holt here, BallHer Hoops. Been a while. My apologies. Life been lifing. Got a new son, so basketball's been the furthest thing from my mind, but I've still been keeping up a little bit. Shout out to all the teams that did really good this December. The big movers, the big shakers. Biggest takeaway from this December, I would say how good Malik Creek is. They've showed that they are one of the toughest teams in the area, beating DME and then also beating NCGBB. Shout out to Cannon. Cannon's played a tough schedule. Lake Norman had the one loss to Hebron, but they stayed close for a good while. North Meg, even though they just lost to Malik Creek, which was a good game, could have went either way. North kind of gave it away a little bit with their second half performance, but overall it was a good game. Malik Creek wanted it a little bit more. Trying to think what else. Shout out to Providence Day. They've had a big month of December. I think they were like something and one. Had a big win streak. Don't want to miss out on anybody. McDowell, undefeated team, moved up our rankings. Got a chance to watch some film on them. It's a really solid team. East Berks continuing their ways. We had some ups and downs for December, so I want to just say thank you for everybody that's still around, sticking around. We're going to do some games of the week. A lot of big games this week. I have them here. First game I got is Marvin Ridge versus Porter Ridge. When you look at Marvin Ridge, they've been really good this year. Lost to Malik Creek early, and then if you saw them in the fall maybe the PD scrimmages, you probably had some questions about them, but they figured it out. They're kind of clicking on all cylinders. Big game versus Porter Ridge and Ashanti Taylor. She's probably one of the best scorers, probably the best scorer in North Carolina. She's carrying her team to victories. So I think this will be a good game. Be nice to see how Marvin Ridge plays her. Will they go boxing one, or will they kind of make her give the ball up, kind of trap her and don't let her get it back? There's a lot of different things you could throw at her, but I would love to see what they do. I'll probably watch that game on the app. That's today, January 7th. And then Concord Academy versus Grace Christian. I mean, not Grace Christian, Gaston Christian should be a good game as well. Both teams don't have many losses. Concord Academy is still a really good team. They came off our list this year. I'm sure they'll be back because I doubt they lose much in conference. But I think Gaston Christian has a big 6'6" happy. She's going to give Concord Academy a run for their money. I don't really know who else Gaston Christian has, but they've only lost 3 games this year. So they're a much improved team regardless of who else they have. Whoever the coach is there is doing a good job with getting them wins that they didn't get before. So that'll be a good game. North Met versus Marvin Ridge is tomorrow, which is Wednesday. That'll be a good game as well. North Met coming off the loss versus Malik Creek. I'm sure they'll be ready to play. They're still trying to show that they belong in that conversation for a state contenders. And I think they have the chance to be there. They're going to have to shoot the ball better because at the end of the day, if you don't shoot the ball well, it's hard to win games. Marvin Ridge is going to have to be able to defend. If they can't defend, then North Met's going to have a field day, and they got to be able to handle the ball. North Met's going to be up in your face. They're going to be physical. They're going to bully you in a sense. So you got to make sure that you're able to handle that. J.M. Robinson versus Northwest Cabarrus is tonight. I think that's the 2 teams in that conference that will be competing for that conference championship. Both teams have been solid so far. I think J.M. Robinson, they don't have many losses. I think Northwest Cabarrus is a surprise team this year. You didn't really think that they would be as good. They lost a lot last year. Mackenzie coming back helped them so much. Then the point guard that they have, she's a really good guard. I think a lot of people may not know about her. I think she plays with the Hornets organization, so she's probably known by them. But she's going to be a good guard for them. I think she's going to carry them. They'll go as she goes through this season. Another game, West Charlotte versus Huff. That's tonight, Tuesday. I think both teams have been really solid so far. West Charlotte's still trying to find that name for themselves. They've won a lot of games, but they haven't beaten the teams that are those big name teams. Like Huff is a big name team to me. They're one of the favorites to like finish that third in the conference. They should make playoffs. So this will be a good battle for that third, fourth position. Um, Hickory Ridge versus Lake Norman is Friday night, big game. I don't think it matters who's on either team. That's going to be a big game regardless. I know Hickory Ridge lost Cherie Gidney last year, but they returned a lot. With Michaela, Maya Leathers, they got a freshman there that's really good, that's been handling business. So I think it's going to be a good game. Of course, Lake Norman is Lake Norman at the end of the day. I don't know where the game is, so it'll be good regardless of where it's at. If you've ever watched the game between them two, it always comes down to the last quarter. So should be a good one. Cannon versus Latin, two teams. It'll be Cannon's first conference game. I think Latin's second. They'll play tonight against somebody. But two teams that are winning at a high rate. Cannon coming off the stretch in December where they lost a couple games to some really good teams, but now it's time to get the conference, and they got a lot back in. Latin's a young coach team. Coach Mack is doing a great job with those girls there. I think they're going to be a tough out. I don't think it's going to be an easy win, especially at Latin. Then you got PD versus Country Day. Both of these teams have been up and down. Country Day lost to Raven Gap and Wesleyan and Porter. No, they beat Wesleyan. Lost to Porter Ridge. PD lost some games earlier, but they've come back and won a lot of games. I think it's going to be a good one. Anytime PD and Country Day play, it comes down to who's going to play the better defense. Both teams do their job defensively, so if you're going to win that game, it's going to come down to who can score. I think defensively, both teams are going to do their job. I know I said it's going to come to who plays the best defense, but I think offense is going to matter more. Who can score the ball? If it's GA, she's going to have to be efficient with her scoring, and somebody's going to have to come along and help her. It can't just be certain people just doing the job. It got to be everybody. With Country Day, they have the big three, Margaret, Sam, and Olive. I think those three are going to score. You're going to get at least 10, 12 points from each one of those, maybe 20, not from each one, but somebody's going to have 20. And if you can stop them, you can win that game. And then my last game, Winston-Salem Christian versus 101 Prep. 101 Prep's been hot. Winston-Salem Christian is one of the top 20 teams in the country, ranked by ESPN. So they're a solid team. So it'll be a good chance for 101 Prep to make a name for themselves. They've played each other once already, but these teams play each other a lot, so they're in the same conference, and they'll see each other again, I'm sure. But this is a good time to see where you are and try to get the upset. I think 101 does of course, coaching wise, they have a great job, and they've been playing better. If you watch them, it's like they've grown over the year. They're not the same team they were in fall ball. They're a lot better than they were in the fall. So with that said, those are my games of the week. Continue supporting and BallHer Hoops. We're out.